check. We are coming to get our check.
Welcome, welcome. I am Dena, and this is Discussions with Dena. I want to welcome you today. There has been a remarkable increase and a renewed energy of sorts across this nation in regards to reparations, to our quest for reparations here in America, and that is indeed a good thing. Now, there are conversations that have drastically increased in the number of Black descendants of slaves actively participating in dialogue and communicating with other Black think tanks as to how to best pursue the funds that are owed and due to the Black people here in these United States. Now, specifically, those that descended from the original stolen and enslaved people. And whether or not you call yourself A.D.O.S, freedmen, F.B.A, African American, or any of the sort, there is no denying the debt that is owed, nor the necessary and warranted need to be compensated by this government. Now, this government has not hesitated to compensate other groups. Indians, Japanese, Jews, Afghans, Ukrainians, LGBT, Asian American, the list goes on and on. And even those who come here illegally are given compensation. And they're not even considered to be citizens. That's right, illegal non-citizens are given resources and money. And we are not privy to that. And of course, America should be held responsible and compensate groups that they have wronged, people that they have caused harm to, and who more than we have they harmed. I don't know of any group that has suffered as much as we have. The inhumanity, the laws, the discrimination, the just straight up and down terrorism that we have had to face. And to be perfectly honest, some of these groups that have been rewarded really do not merit compensation. Now, the Black descendants of slaves in America deserve compensation without a doubt. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. Now, you can call us foundation, no Black people, you can call us descendants of slaves or whatever. It does not mean that we were not subjugated. We had subjugation that was legalized and enforced by the government of America, the same government that exists today. Our ancestors were never ever compensated for their bondage and servitude. This nation owes reparations to the descendants of slaves, and that debt is current and due and payable today. Matters not that the current descendants of these slave owners claim to never have owned slaves, but you benefited then, and you continue to benefit today from the unpaid labor Black enslaved people, and we were enslaved by your ancestors. We didn't choose to come over here. There were people, Black people, that were here already. Yes, indeed, there were. But what we have experienced, your ancestors are responsible for. The labor that we gave to build the foundation of America to make it be what it is today. That was done by our people. The wealth, your way of life, and the freedoms that you enjoy today came at the cost of our ancestors' subjugation and on the backs of their heavy labor and productiveness, their work, and they were never remunerated for it. That is a fact that is undeniable, and reparations are due. Accept it or leave it alone. As I have been observing discussions making this a priority and using our Black power to demand reparations, I cannot help but notice the number of other black-skinned people in opposition to us, the descendants of slaves in America, actually receiving what is owed to us. And I have to admit, this can be puzzling at times, but there are other black people across the world that were enslaved by Caucasoid nations demanding reparations as well, like those in Brazil, Barbados, Caribbeans, and those in Jamaica. And we don't have a problem with that. We want you to get your reparations. All the CARICOM groups, all the groups that have decided that they want reparations, we are rooting for you. But what I have noticed is the difference is when there is a conversation as to the black people in America, we are getting these same black people from those other countries that seem to not want to see us get what is owed to us, and they seem to have a problem with it. It seems many of these same black people are engaged in social media conversations. They're in mainstream media. They're giving speeches where they got their way to speak negatively or even try to speak against our need for reparations. And this is wrong and unacceptable. And it's also bizarre. Now, I have heard many of our skin folks suggest it is warranted and even try to go so far as to even prevent it from being a conversation even worthy of presenting to our politicians. But politicians are not. It's despicable, and it is something that we will get. We certainly would not go to any other country where black people are fighting for what is owed to them and what they are due, and scream to their government, don't give it to them, they just lazy. That would be looked upon as treason, and to a certain degree it is. Now, this is why I am expressing or showing just some of the conversations and why they are problematic that are coming from people, not all people, but some immigrants that are here in America that have immigrated here. Perhaps it was decades or even a century ago. Regardless, reparations is an issue for those descendants of slaves here. You who immigrated made a choice to immigrate to this country. We didn't have that choice. So I would say support our battle or stand down. Don't be a hindrance to our progress to pursue what is owed to us. It is not necessary for any other black group to make their opinion a priority in this reparations discussion, nor for them to take it upon themselves to engage in the act of using their position in this society to try and void or negate any of the advancements that we have fought for, that we have fought and died for. The entitlements, the achievements that you are proud of, that you were able to get in this country. Thank our ancestors. Many of our ancestors protested, demanded, they fought for, and they sacrificed their lives so that we may have a better quality of life than they did. And you benefit from that when you come here. So when black immigrants come to this country and find themselves doing well and having access to reap the benefits, just remember there was life that was sacrificed. And that's why you should know and appreciate A.D.O.S or F.B.A for fighting for you to have and enjoy those freedoms. Now, black people enslaved in America and the descendants struggled. We struggled and we fought. We continue the fight today for equality here in America. I know you see a lot of race mixing and you get confused and it makes you think we are there, but we're not. There's a debt that is due, and it is our duty, our responsibility to continue to demand that we are given reparations for building and our ancestors building this very society. Now, our ancestors did the heavy lifting and they sacrificed, there is no doubt about it. So it is not wrong that we ask that you either support our efforts for reparations or simply stand down and do not try to prevent us from pursuing what is ours, what is meant for us, what is owed to us. So I would ask you stand down and stop trying to make this particular issue about you. It is more than about you. And yes, if there is a separate reparations thing for how you have been handled, then do it. But this is our fight. Now, we nor our ancestors had a choice in the matter of coming over here. Now, having said and expressed that, I want to give some examples of some of the conversations that are actually being had on social media. They are interesting to say the least. One in particular was with Luther Campbell. I know you know him, Two Live Crew and all that. Well, he had a discussion on Twitter. He's calling himself Uncle Luke. And it's in regards to reparations. So let's listen to this. Take a listen.
I was looking at them boys over there at the F.B.A. and they had this room going on. Roland Martin and Luther Campbell. Me, Luther Campbell. Roland Martin, Luther Campbell. Let me let some people get on in the room. I normally do this shit on Sunday. And I talk about sports throughout the week. Please, please, please. DM them dudes, bring their ass up in here so we can have a real conversation. DM them dudes, bring their ass up in here so we can have a real conversation. And I hope some of y'all are part of that group that's in here. And I hope some of y'all African Americans who are rationalized people are in this group. Let's talk about it. Because I really want to know what these dudes' beef is. I really want to know what their beef is. So I put it up there. Call them straight up ignorant Negroes, because they are ignorant Negroes in my opinion. And anybody that follow a pimp is stupid. And that go for hoes on the street too. So that's where I'm going at with this. One thing about me, I don't run from no smoke. They got me fucked up. So we're going to have a conversation. Call them people and put them in here, please. Call them and let them know. Come on in. Come on in. So we can get this out. We can get this life. I got no problem with reparations. I got no problem with them. But when you start talking about Bohemians and Jamaicans and you go on an attack of black people who you consider as Pan-African Americans, so everybody else is the enemy, and you're trying to get things passed because everybody else is the enemy. That's the stupidest shit I've heard in the world. I never even knew these people even exist until I got on Twitter and started having spaces about, okay, what we need to do as African Americans to get out and vote, get policy changed, get things changed, get things to benefit black people. I always look at all of us as black people. I don't look at us as individuals. My mama and my daddy, my mama is from the Bahamas and my daddy is from Jamaica. I was born in this motherfucker 60 years ago. My mama was told to get her ass off South Beach when she was working over there at 6 o'clock. We all, as black people, went through the same thing that all other black people went through in the 50s, and the 60s, and the 70s, and the 80s, and the 90s, and the 2000s. So ain't no black people get exempt because you're from the Bahamas or you're from Jamaica, but these ignorant Negroes will lead you to believe that we have some kind of exempt card, as if the police, before the police go and shoot you, the police is going to ask you for your fucking passport to see whether or not you are from the Bahamas or Jamaica. That is the most ignorant shit in the world. And these idiots have idiots following them with that stupid ass ideology. You would think, I feel for some of these motherfuckers who got kids, because they're pumping that shit to their kids. And their kids is going to be just as fucked up as them. Sitting around, walking down the street. Just imagine these idiots. Just imagine these idiots walking down the street. Oh, he Bohemian. Oh, he ain't not one of us. How the fuck you gonna get reparations passed? These are the questions that I ask these idiots, and I hope some of y'all in this room, how you gonna get something passed? If you just gonna eliminate half of the black people in this country, so you just dummy your shit down to kids of black slaves. Kids of black slaves. When you ask these assholes, okay, so what? Did you do an ancestry? When y'all get your hot ass on here with your shit, I want to know, did you do a ancestry.com? Post that motherfucker in the Jumbotron that showed you 100% African Americans, descendant of slaves. I want you to do that, because half of y'all mama fucked the white man. And where the white man came from. So I'm really interested in finding out what makes you 100% black man, to then make you come to the point that, oh, I'm 100% black man. My next question is to these idiots, how do you get anything passed if you don't create any allies? Who are your allies? You just killed off all the Bahamians, the blacks, the Haitians. You killed off everything that's black. You killed them all off. Fuck them. We don't vibe with them. They the ones who came here and they corrupted the country and they made white people hate us. But then at the end of the day, what y'all do? That's, man, half them dudes. Just go ahead and say it. Y'all are funded by the Republican Party. Y'all trying to create some Black Lives Matter shit so y'all can get a check. Y'all get a bag. You just wait for Trump to call you up. Them the niggas who be in the crowd with Trump. You always wonder where they come from. That's who they are. They're the black people who be in the crowd that Trump. Just go ahead and say you're Republican. Oh, it's always an attack on the Democrat. You, no matter how much you say, I criticize the Democratic Party just as much as I criticize the Republican Party. They don't hear that. That shit going one ear out the other. Oh, well, we don't care about what they do in the and I want to know, my last thing, I want to know what the fuck y'all do in y'all community. How many lives y'all saving? Oh, well, Luke, you know, he works with the kids, but fuck that. No, he don't work with the kids. He's been working with the kids for 32 years, boss. Rebuilding parks, saving lives. Got over 800 kids right now on a year-round basis for 32 fucking years. Education, education, education. Created tons of millionaires. None of them motherfuckers can stand up to that, to those numbers there. Because everybody want to get on Twitter because you spend too much time on Twitter. The hood. Just left the hood. Just left saving some lives. Just left inspiring some young black boys. And not saying to them, oh, I'm going to only inspire. Oh, let me see your fucking, let me see let me see your passport. Because I'm not fucking with no Pan-American, African-Americans. I'm not going to fucking help you guys because I'm here to help only islanders. It's that most stupidest, ignorant shit you could ever fucking say. I want you people to get on here and listen to these fucking dumbass hoes with their stupid ass ideology. You come out of a conversation about why we should vote. And they come in there, they want to come into your room and attack people who they don't like, change the conversation and the narrative to fit what they got a problem with. That's more ignorant shit. Oh, let's go up in the room. Title of the room. Why is it important for African Americans to vote? Special guest, Roland Martin. Oh, Roland. You this and you that and you this. Motherfucker, we ain't talking about that. If you don't want to vote, just get in the, open the mic and say, well, I don't want to vote. These some niggas, they leader, they Jesus, Tariq, or who the fuck he is, I don't even know this nigga. Oh, Luke kicked me out the room. No, lying already. No, I don't care. I ain't kicked nobody out no room. I let one person talk at a time because I did not want a shit show going on in the room. Okay, you go, put your hand up. The complete balance of the F.B.A. guys, because I'm looking at the fucking profile. I know what they coming with. Look at boss. Stay on topic. Stay on topic. We're talking about voting. If you don't want to vote, fine. I got the problem with that. I'm the nigga who went to the Supreme Court fight for free speech, by the way. So I'm not going to tell a person what they can't talk about. I ain't going to tell a person you need to be agreeing with me and you don't need to be agreeing with me. Say what you got to say. But we're going to stay on topic. If you don't think we should be voting, that's your opinion, brother, sister. That is your opinion. If you don't think black people should be voting, fine, okay. Some people don't think it's a Jesus. Some people don't think it's a God. Some people don't think Allah don't exist. Some people got a problem. In a free country. I have a problem with that. When you open up a platform like this, you allow people to speak. And you allow people to get on here and speak their piece, no problem. Say what the fuck you guys say. That's all I do, sit back and listen. That's your thing. I don't got no problem with nobody. You want to make me a problem? Fine, I ain't got no problem with that. Join the list of motherfuckers. I'm a big boy. I done fought the fucking government and everybody else. So some ignorant ass niggas, spell my name right. Hey, F.B.A, spell my fucking name right. Because with you niggas having a problem with me, okay with that. Shit. Finally, I'm moving off into the good section here, because normally I have people sane people who got a problem with me. Now I got some insane motherfuckers. I got no problem with that. We're on the right, Luke off. Luke off. You niggas ain't never bought it. Y'all don't feed me. I don't do business with motherfuckers like that. I can't even sit in the room with them niggas. So write me off like y'all spending some money with me. Huh? The people who I fuck with don't fuck with them kind of people. We're gonna write Luke off. Okay, he's one of them. One of what? I'm a real nigga. And half them niggas running their mouth talking about, oh, he not one of us. You been wrote me off because my mama's a Bahamian, my dad is a Bahamian, so you gonna write me off 2 times? Damn, that's double jeopardy. Fucking double jeopardy. But you know what? Niggas like them ain't gonna discourage me from doing what I do in my community.
All right, I'm done.
We see a lot of projection. I see a lot of projection in there. That's way projecting. That's a lot of projecting going on. Shout out to everybody in the room. I got to touch on some of that stuff. A lot of these people who are clicked in with the white Democrats, like this gentleman there, they get paid to spew a lot of this stuff about why we should vote as traditional Black Americans and not
I would love to get paid. I seriously would if you could pay.
Hold on. Let Mr. Tariq speak. Don't cut him off. Don't cut him off.
Right, this whole thing where we should vote just for the sake of voting and not getting the tangibles, and well, we shouldn't think about reparations. We're not playing that game. We're going to get reparations, and we're going to focus on reparations because other groups are getting tangibles and they're not having to spin their wheels. You have a lot of these people who are Democratic shills come among us And when we talk about getting tangibles, like all of these other groups, they get into what I call wheel spinisms. We got to do all of these tricks and trades and all of these parlor tricks in order to make the Democrats do something. We got to vote, then do a super PAC, and then get a plebiscite, and then roll around on the ground and stop, drop, and roll. No. Other groups are not doing all of this stuff. And the Democrats and other politicians are giving them tangible things. Foundational Black Americans, we're told that we can't get anything. We've had Kamala Harris say, I'm not going to do anything for Black people. No. That's a problem. Sir, I see you are a person who works with Kamala Harris or works for Kamala Harris on your website, sir, on your profile page. So, sir, you said a lot of things that were invalid and false because you are...
That would be a pleasure if I did, but continue.
Right. We as Foundational Black Americans, we're not obligated to carry anybody. We've done enough. We've carried so many other people. We fought for so many other groups. When we want to fight for ourselves, we have too many Foundational Black Americans who are homeless. Our people are getting shot in the streets. We need reparations. We need tangibles. And when we want to do something that excludes other people, all of a sudden we're called xenophobic and we're some part of a conspiratorial group funded by some shadowy white supremacists. We're not a group. We're not an organization. Foundational Black Americans is a lineage that we've designated ourselves and not let the white supremacists name us. And we're letting people know we're not going to be marginalized. We're going to be looking out for our group because we need very specific things. We're not trying to harm immigrants, but we're not prioritizing immigrants right now because immigration, unfortunately, has not worked out for Foundational Black Americans in the last 70 years. So we have every right. Our families built this nation from the ground up, so we have a right to fight for something for Foundational Black Americans in respect to our lineage and our ancestry.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe in order to leave your comment. Stay tuned, part 2 coming up. This is Discussions with Dena.